Hello out there, YouTuber. Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what I saw. So a couple weeks ago, I had the chance of checking out an all-new action-packed film that is the third film in an awesome, already great, amazing series that has an awesome cast, awesome, amazing directors, and just is a really fun action-packed ride. Now, the movie I'm talking about happens to be the awesome, amazing film that just came out on May 16th of this year, known as John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. Oh, yeah. So this is the third film in the awesome John Wick franchise, and it's just a really fun, all-around great, action-packed film. Probably one of the best since like The Matrix and like The Expendables and stuff like that, Die Hards and so forth. This movie franchise is just amazing, and each film, I feel they get better and better and just give us even more and better action. Now, this film is none other directed by a gentleman that was a co-director on the first film and directed the second film. That, of course, is Mr. Chad Stahelski. Now, Chad Stahelski, you might recognize, like I said, as the co-director of the first film and the second film as well, being the main director. But this is actually his only two films that he's actually directed. So, I would like to talk about a little bit about his directing of these two films. So, the first film, of course, is the very first and amazing film of this franchise, John Wick 1. Now, Chad was a co-director on this film, along with David Leitch, who co-directed it along with him. And also, David Leitch directed the now great Deadpool 2 film. Now, this awesome film was so well directed by both guys, and they just both did an amazing job and made a great action-packed film, and really brought to life a whole new genre of action film, and kind of brought back the John McClanes and the those types of heroes type of character. That was kind of how John Wick to me felt. And it brought back that classic action type of film with a great, revenge story kind of, along with a regular, storyline that just was really interesting and fun. Now, when it comes to the second film, John Wick Chapter 2, where Chad's solo directed this one, I just felt that the action got even better with this one. I just thought it was so well directed by Chad. I thought he brought a great presence to it, gave us a great new action-packed film, a great sequel, and just really brought to life more to John Wick's character, and gave us another great storyline to follow and to see proceed into the third film. And also, his stunt choreography background really helps him to give us some of the greatest stunts I've seen in some action flicks in a long time. Now, a cool little quit bit about Mr. Chad is actually he was originally a stunt performer himself, stand-in for quite a few actors over the years, but one big performance that he actually got to do was he was actually the stand-in stuntman for Mr. Brandon Lee in the film The Crow. He actually ended up standing in at the end and finishing off the sequences that Brandon Lee wasn't able to do before his unfortunate demise of the accident that happened on set that unfortunately killed him. And so I thought that was kind of a cool thing to see this guy that was a stuntman for The Crow showing his directorial chops in these three movies and really showing that he's really amazing at it. Now, when it comes to the third film, once again, he set his bar high and really gave us even a higher bar and just made a great new addition to the awesome franchise. He took the story to a whole new heights. He gave us more action sequences and different action sequences from the previous films, which was really awesome. So we got to see some different things. We got to see action with dogs. We got to see action with horses. I mean, we got to see a lot of great new action we hadn't seen in the previous two films that he brought to life and showed his really great stunt background and gave us these really great stunts. And I thought he did a fantastic job and gave us just a really excellent and amazing new John Wick film in this awesome film series. So this movie has a really all-star cast. They brought in a few new people that weren't in the previous films, but also brought back quite a few of your other people that have been in previous films as well, and made such a great ensemble cast that just is an amazing, feat, and just made a great film. Now, to start off this cast, we have none other than John Wick himself, Mr. Keanu Reeves. Oh, yeah! So, Keanu Reeves, you don't recognize, of course, is Neo from the Matrix trilogy. You might also recognize him from Point Break, that starred Patrick Swayze back in the 90s. You might also recognize him from The Replacements, or the film The Devil's Advocate, or many other films over the years. Now, a couple of films I really enjoyed him and thought he was fantastic in were none other than an awesome film that actually came out back in 2008, and I thought was a really great remake of a great film from the 50s that had a great new edge to it, gave us a new light onto it, and gave us great new special effects for its time. And I thought that Keanu Reeves' character of the alien character in the film was just really awesome, and I thought he did a really good job. But I feel the film didn't get not enough recognition for how fun of a film it was. And then, of course, is the film called The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008 version. Oh, yeah. So this awesome film just was really well done, really fun, and they just did a really great job with it. And I absolutely love what Keanu Reeves did with Klaatu in this one. He gave us a whole new, different version versus the 1950s one, and gave us a whole new insight into the character and what he's all about, and how his mind is persuaded by the humans, and instead of actually coming to destroy the Earth. Basically, it's the same type of idea behind the original, but gave us a little new and different type of take on the film, and I thought that they did a really good job, and I thought Keanu was really awesome in it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch, really great movie, and very fun. The second film that Keanu did that I really enjoyed and thought was a really fantastic film, and I don't think it's another one I don't feel got enough recognition for how fun of a film it was. Now, this is a martial arts kind of era film with some technology, and a lot of CGI work, creatures and stuff like that, but gave a lot of, background into some ancient Chinese cultures and stuff like that, which I thought was really awesome. And that, of course, is a film called 47 Ronin. Oh, yeah. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was fantastic, fun, really awesome, lots of great, action sequences in it, lots of great creatures, just an all-around really well-done film. And I just thought it was really amazing at what they did with the film, too. I thought that they did a really great job and gave us this really interesting and fun film. And I thought Keanu was really awesome as the main titular character in this film. And I thought that he brought to life, that old samurai way very well. And I thought that he brought it very well and gave us this great performance that I feel is underestimated, and that he didn't get enough recognition for how good of a performance he performed in the film. Really fun film. If you like martial arts films, any Oriental, films like that, like along the lines of like Iron Monkey and stuff like that, I feel that this is a film that those that love those types of films should definitely check out, because it's kind of like that same genre and same idea. I thought it was really fun, really excellent, and a must see. Definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Now, it comes to Keanu playing John Wick again. Oh my god, he is such John Wick to the T. He was so amazing. Absolutely loved him again as John Wick. I love where he took the character in this one. I love his determination, what he did with the character, and I just love all the action sequences he performed in and gave us. Because once again, he showed how much of a professional he is, and how much work he put into performing and acting as John Wick, and giving us these really awesome gun moves and sword moves and all that kind of cool stuff. He just was really excellent again. Once again, is truly John Wick, and just a great performance. Can't wait to see more of John Wick when John Wick Chapter 4 comes out in 2021. Love Keanu, think he's fantastic, and was really happy to see him in this again. Next up on this awesome roster of acting giants in this film is none other than an awesome actor himself that can portray comedy, can portray drama, can do action, can do about anything. This guy is an awesome guy. You might recognize him from the show Deadwood. He's just an awesome actor. I always love watching the things. And that, of course, is Mr. Ian McShane. Now, Ian McShane, a couple films I really enjoyed and thought he was fantastic in were none other than an awesome film that came out in 2007 that was a really fun comedy film starring Andy Samberg, directed by, the Lonely Island guys, and just was a really fun film. Bill Hader was in it, Isla Fisher, just an awesome cast. And that, of course, is the film called Hot Rod. Now, Hot Rod, if you don't recognize that film, basically it's about like a stunt guy, kind of like, Super Dave or like Evil Knievel type of deal, and Andy Samberg's trying to be like this, master daredevil guy, like he thought whose father was Evil Knievel, and his stepfather ends up needing a heart transplant, so he decides to try to do this, to make money to be able to get his stepdad his heart transplant. And it's like a comedy farce, funny thing, and it's just a really fun film. And Ian McShane plays the stepfather, and he's absolutely freaking hilarious in it. Absolutely love it. And just his characterization and how he reacts with Andy Samberg is so stinking funny, and their relationship is just really fun. It just was a really well done, rounded, and funny flick. And I just thought Ian McShane was really awesome in it, and I really enjoyed him in it. And it made me want to see more stuff with him. And I just thought he has a really great comedian acting chops. Definitely worth the watch if you haven't seen it. Hot Rod, fun film, really funny. The second film I really enjoyed Ian McShane in is an awesome film that actually just came out this year back in April. And I think is a really fantastic reboot to an awesome character that is, amazing comic character that, got 2 films from Guillermo del Toro done. And a lot of people hated this remake, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I love the hard R rating that it got. I love where they took it, what they did with it, and this film was just a really fun film, I thought, and I thought it was really well done. That, of course, is the film called Hellboy. Oh, yeah. So Hellboy, Ian McShane this time around plays Hellboy's adopted father in the film series. And I think he was absolutely perfect as the character. I loved where he took the character. I love what he gave to him. I love how he was so much different than John Hurt was in the original Hellboy films. I disliked where he took the character, like I said. And I just like what he did with it and how his connection with Hellboy was. And how the father dynamic relationship was with him. And I thought Ian did a really great job of bringing that to life and giving us this whole new take on his character from the comic books. And just made a really awesome character. Really enjoyed his performance and I thought he was really fantastic. And really enjoy it. And I'm hoping that we get to see more Hellboy films, even though this one didn't do as well as they say. Hopefully we'll get to see another one and Ian McShane gets to kind of reprise that role in some sort of way, which would be really cool. Really great performance by Ian McShane in that film, and definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm sure it's coming out on Blu-ray DVD soon, so definitely check it out. If it's still in theaters, check it out there. It's worth the watch. It's a really fun film, and definitely check it out, people. It's fun. Really cool. Now, when it comes to Ian McShane, of course, as the same character again in this John Wick, he once again is awesome, amazing, and just excellent again. Absolutely love his character in the John Wick series. I think he's fantastic as that character. I love this one where he really takes us on a whole new ride with this character. We get to see more of him. We get to see kind of more about who he is and, how his relationship is with John Wick and how he really lies, within everything that's encompassed of, the Continental and the board and all that kind of stuff. He really shows his true colors in this one. And I thought that was really interesting and fun to see him kind of get to do more in this one. And I absolutely think it's hilarious when they're doing all the fighting at the Continental. And he's just sitting back drinking a wine while they're out doing all the fighting and stuff. And he's just like, like Girl Beneath Me. I'm in an elevator or something. You're waiting to go up in the elevator. It pretty much is how I felt like it was, and he was so stinking hilarious just seeing him just sit there and be like, yep, I'm just waiting. Absolutely hilarious, really fun. Really great role, and if you like Ian McShane, definitely check out John Wick Chapter 3. It's worth the watch, really great film, definitely worth seeing for Ian McShane. So that brings me to the next actor that was in this movie that played a big major part in the film. Now that awesome person happens to be a martial arts expert guy. He usually plays some sort of martial arts character in the movies he portrays, and he's just a really awesome talent at it too, and he actually was a real champion in real life from the ages of 7 to 18. And that of course is Mr. Mark Damascus. Oh yeah. So Mark Damascus, you might recognize from participating in Orange Chef. He's usually the host along with Alton Brown. You might recognize him from a slew of other films over the years, where he's kicking ass and doing martial arts. Now, a couple films I've seen him in and thought he was pretty fantastic in were none other than an awesome film that was directed to DVD and video back in 1997. And I think it's a really fun kind of horror sci-fi type of film. And that, of course, is the film called DNA. Basically, what this film's about is this bad guy, Jurgen Prochnow, actually is like the scientist guy that's taken these beetles that they're finding in this, jungle. That where Mark Damascus is playing, where he is doing his research and stuff, he takes their DNA and interlocks it with this ancient being, basically, and causes it to come back to life, and then it goes on like a killing rampage, and they have to stop it, basically. It's a really awesome direct-to-DVD type of film. It was really well done, really fun, and Mark Damascus was just really badass in it. I really liked him, thought he did a really great job. I loved his hero character in it. It was nice to see him as a hero character. And it was just fun to see him kind of like in a totally different type of role versus being just kind of like a martial arts guy. And, portraying kind of like that, common Asian type of character, I feel. I feel he played that a lot in films. And I think that's quite funny because he always usually plays the characters. But it was fun to see him in this kind of like in the lead role, kind of portraying kind of like, he's supposed to be kind of like this normal, average American, scientist type of character, and I thought that was really awesome and fun. Really fun film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Now, when it comes to the second film that Mr. Mark was in, which I think is a fantastic film. I absolutely love this film. Cedric the Entertainer was in it. The awesome and amazing Lucy Liu was in it. Nicole Sheridan was in it. It just had a really all-star cast and was a really fun, awesome kind of action comedy film. And that, of course, is the film called Codename The Cleaner. Oh, yeah. This movie was fantastic. Absolutely love it. Came out back in, I think, 2007, 2008. Was really fun, awesome. And Mark Damascus plays the main villain bad guy in the film. And I think he was, once again, just great in the film. Really awesome. Really enjoyed him. He showed off his martial arts expertise. And just his interactions with everyone in the film was just really fun and awesome. And especially between him and Cedric the Entertainer were so stinking hilarious. Really fun action comedy flick. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. It's so funny and worth the watch and super hilarious. Definitely a film to check out and see for yourself. It's really fun and hilarious. Check it out, people. Worth the watch. Now, it comes to Mark playing the character, the main villain, in John Wick Chapter 3. He was awesome. I loved where he took the character. I loved that he had the comedy element added to him in the film. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant and just was really awesome, really well done. And I just thought that the certain quips he was saying to John Wick and stuff, kind of being like starstruck, like, ooh, this is John Wick, I'm like, idling out, type of deal, was so stinking hilarious. But at the same time, then when he got down to doing action sequences, he was badass and really awesome. Really great performance by him. Really awesome, and just a really all-around great performance by him throughout the whole film. Really enjoyed seeing him in the film and seeing him as a bad guy in this time around. It was nice because I felt it was a refreshing take on a bad guy and a really just well-done performance by Mark. Really awesome. If you like Mark Damascus, definitely check out this film. Definitely check out his other performances in films because he's just really awesome. I really enjoy him and think he's a really great treasure to watch. Now that brings me to the next awesome actor in this awesome roster of awesomeness in this film. Is none other than an awesome actor that is known as Morpheus from the Matrix film series. He is also known for his character on Pee-wee's Playhouse, and he's just been in a lot of great movies over the years. He was in the first Ride Along film. He's just an awesome all-around actor. And that, of course, is Mr. Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, yeah! Round of applause, people. Lawrence Fishburne, yes, awesome guy. Mr. Morpheus. Do you take the red pill or the blue pill? Anyway, so the awesome Lawrence Fishburne's in this film once again, just like he was in Chapter 2, and he had a little bigger part, I feel, in this one, and it was another great performance by Lawrence Fishburne. Now, a couple of films I really love Lawrence Fishburne, and I thought he was fantastic in, is none other than an awesome film that just came out last year, and it's an awesome Marvel film, and is just a really well done sequel to an already awesome franchise that's going on. And that, of course, is the film called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, yeah. So in this film, he plays an old acquaintance of Hank Pym in the film, who is known as the original Giant Man. And I feel that his character was just really awesome, really well done, and I just really loved his performance and his character in the film. I thought he was a great new addition to that film series, and giving us this whole new aspect on this cool character. And I thought that it was interesting that, the way they went, because unlike in Civil War, the actual film versus the comic book was a little different. The original Giant Man, which was actually portrayed in the actual comic book, was kind of similar to who Lawrence Fishburne's character was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I thought it was interesting that they finally brought him in and gave him kind of, from comic book to live screen performance. And I thought it was brilliant and really awesome, really well done. Really great performance and really awesome. Really enjoyed Lawrence Fishburne in the film and thought it was a really all-around great performance. Hopefully we get to see him again in another Ant-Man film. Now, the second film I really enjoyed Mr. Lawrence Fishburne in was an awesome film that came out in 1995 that stars the great Sean Connery and had a great ensemble cast and was just a really great thriller film. And this film, it actually takes place all down in Louisiana, and I thought that was really cool because a lot of people feel that, Louisiana usually is given for movies for, kind of seedy things going on, and I think that's kind of funny, especially for, that type of, genre film. I think it's so funny, but this film takes place all in Louisiana, and is just a really interesting, like I said, thriller film that stars Sean Connery. And that, of course, is the film called Just Cause. Oh, yeah. If you have not seen Just Cause, you have not seen a great movie yet. This movie is so amazing. A great thriller, amazing film. Everyone in it is so amazing. And Lawrence Fishburne's performance is so superb in this film. I feel that he deserves more recognition for how great he was in this film. And just, how powerful it was. Just like being Morpheus in the Matrix film series. He just was so awesome in this film and did a really great job. I really enjoyed his character. I loved his relationship with Sean Connery. I loved his interaction with everyone in the film. And just where he took the character, what he portrayed, and how he, brought it to a full circle by the end of the film. I thought it was just a really amazing performance. Great film, too, as well. If you haven't seen Just Cause, definitely check out, people. It's worth the watch. It's kind of like if you haven't seen A Time to Kill, too, with Sandra Bullock, Matthew McConaughey, and Samuel Jackson. It's like that same line of type of films. Pelican Brief, Patriots Games, Clear and Present Danger, those types of films. This one is just like those. A really great film, really well done, and just all around excellent, and a great performance by Lawrence Fishburne in it. Now, it comes to his portrayal once again, as the awesome king guy in this John Wick. Like I was saying before, it was an awesome performance, had a lot bigger part. I love where he took the character. I love how they end this film, along with him kind of showing what his intentions are. And I think that it's just a really well-rounded character, and I thought that was fun to see more about this character, and that we'll get to see actually more of this character probably in Chapter 4 as well. Lawrence Fishburne just kicked butt in the film. I really loved him. Thought he was fantastic. I love, like I said, where he took the character, and I just think it's a great addition to this film series, and looking forward to more from Lawrence Fishburne. So to close out this awesome cast, we have none other than an awesome actress that's been around for many years, has been in lots of great films. She's known as the Catwoman for the Catwoman film, playing Catwoman. She's known for such films as Kidnapped, Monsters Ball, and many other films over the years. And I just think she's a great actress, and I always enjoy seeing her in films. And that, of course, is Miss Halle Berry. Now, Halle Berry, like I said, you might recognize from those slew of films, and a few others. You might recognize her as Storm from the first 3 X-Men film, and even Days of Future Past. But a couple of films I really enjoyed her and thought she was fantastic in was an awesome film that came out in 2013 starring Abigail Breslin. And I think she was so great in this film. I thought they worked so well together, her and Abigail. And I just think it's a well-rounded thriller film. And that, of course, is the film called The Call. Oh yeah, I absolutely love this film. I fell in love with this film at like the first 5 minutes of this film because it was like just up the alley of the type of thriller films I love. It was so well directed, so well done. Halle Berry kicked butt in it. I loved where she took the character. I love how she interacted with everyone and just how much of a powerhouse person she was in the film. She just was really amazing in this film, and I really enjoyed her in it. Thought it was a well-rounded film, really well done, and I thought she was really excellent in it. And hopefully we'll get to see more types of these films from her in the future as well. The second film I really enjoyed that Halle Berry was in is a movie from 1996 that stars Kurt Russell, and Steven Seagal has a brief part in it, along with Oliver Platt and a great ensemble cast. And this awesome film is just a really great action-packed film with a little bit of thriller element to it, but at the same time just really action-packed and awesome. I think this is a really well-executed film. I think it's really fun, really awesome, and just an all-around really well-done film. And that, of course, is the film called Executive Decision. Oh, yeah. Halle Berry plays a flight attendant that helps Kurt Russell out throughout this film while these terrorists are trying to take over the plane. And this movie is just so amazingly fun. This is of course, 9/11. So, a lot of the liberties that were taken with this film, of course, can't be done now because of what happened with 9/11. But at the same time, this was just a really well done film and really awesome and excellent, and just was really amazing performance by Halle Berry. I love where she took the character. I love how she reacted to things. I love how she interacted with everyone and how tough of a woman character she played in the film. And I love that how she was, you could see this like hardness to her, but at the same time she had this soft spot where you can see where, the terror that's really in her face, but at the same time she's got to be strong for the people on the plane to save them. And I thought that she did a really great job with that and just was a really well done character. Really enjoyed her in the film, thought she was super fantastic, worked really well with everyone, and just a really well-rounded performance in this film. Really enjoyed that film. If you haven't seen Executive Decision, people, definitely check it out. This movie is such an amazing film, so fun, and just a really amazingly done film. So when it comes to her performance in John Wick Chapter 3, she was a really interesting new addition to the film. I really liked her character because it was very similar to basically a female John Wick. And I love her interaction with the dogs and how the giant fight sequence that they performed throughout the film. And I thought that she was just really awesome at the character. And that she really brought a great new addition to the film series. And gave us kind of like we could go back to this character if we wanted to, if John Wick needs, help from her again. And, she just was really cool in the film. I really loved her action sequence. I thought she did a really great job. I love her interaction with the dogs. I love her interaction with John. And I thought that she just did a really great performance and was a great addition to being a helpful hand to John throughout the film. And just, bringing this new character to the film series that we didn't get to see in previous films. And just gave us a really fun performance. Really enjoyed her in it. Thought she did a really good job. And looking forward to more from her. So if you're not familiar with what John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is about, basically this one starts right after John Wick Chapter 2 ends, where John is basically on the run, and it has a $14 million bounty on his head, and anybody could try to kill him to get that bounty. And so basically the movie starts right off with that, and then the rest of the film is basically about him trying to deal with all the consequences that he caused from his last two film rampage, basically, of, being, killing the highboard guy by, getting revenge for his dog and so forth, and just all the mess he kind of created for himself, and having to deal with the grief of, losing his wife to a disease. And so this one basically kind of gives us a little bit more of a closure of that gap or that storyline, and basically where it's going to go from there. Really great film, really amazing, really enjoyed it, thought it was so amazing. I think this is the best John Wick yet. I really would pair this with the first John Wick. It seemed so much more like that one versus Chapter 2. And I just love the whole idea behind it and where they took it and the fight sequences. And I loved how many people they brought in to be a part of this. and I just thought it was a really well done and amazing film. Really amazing. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out in theaters now, people. It's worth the watch. Definitely can't wait to pick it up when it comes out on Blu-ray and 4K. It's going to be an awesome film. All around, really well done film, and can't wait to see it again. Really enjoyed it, and giant 10 golden movie boxes up. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. If it's your first time here, if you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what do I got to do? Tell John Wick you killed his dog so that he goes after you to get you to hit that subscribe button? Come on, people. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this awesome video or any of the awesome videos I put on. And as always, people, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen by yet. And always, people, check out the awesome Stardust app where you can watch 3 to 30-second little mini reviews on anything your heart desires about the movie industry, from trailers, movies, biographies, anything you can think of. And it's a free app that you can download. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and download it. Look for me under the Cybernetic13. Follow me and I'll follow you back, of course. And as always, people, check out the awesome horror pack as well, especially if you're a huge horror buff, where you get 4 awesome, amazing new horror Blu-rays or horror DVDs right to your door every month for a great low price. So that's something that interests you. Go ahead and look down below underneath the, all that good writing stuff and, the comment area and stuff like that, where you can see the link, and hit that link and you'll get an awesome discount on your first month. So definitely, if that's something that interests you, check it out, people. It's really fun, really worth it. Yeah. And as always, people, catch you in the next one.